A very good evening to all of you guys. Welcome to our third special paper practice series, suggested answer discussion session. So this session is for the third paper that you guys have attempted, in which we have focused on, in terms of Unit 1, Economic Systems area, and in terms of Unit 2, more heavily on the elasticity side of things, especially elasticity of demand. Also, we have looked at demand and supply analysis a bit as well. So those are the areas covered in the third paper that you guys have attempted. So today we are about to do a very quick but comprehensive discussion of the 15 multiple choice questions covering the earlier mentioned units, and then the 3 structured type questions as well. Okay, right. Since I checked on the audio and the video streams and I think everything was clear, we can straight away start off with the suggested answer discussion session. So as always, we will first start with part A, the 15 MCQs, and then we'll move on to a quick run through of the part B, complete suggested answers I have provided to you guys. Okay, right. And hopefully you guys got the PDF of the suggested answers, which was posted in your revision WhatsApp group. Okay, right, excellent. I think we are ready to go. So let me share the paper with you guys and we'll start discussing the MCQ questions. Right, by now, all of you should be getting a very clear view of the multiple choice paper. Right, if there is any technical issue with the audio or the video, you guys need to quickly let me know, Buddha, then we can try to do whatever the adjustment we can. Right, so the third paper, okay, let's be clear on those things so that there is no confusion. So paper 3, right, we are starting with part A, the MCQ part, and let's go ahead with question 1. In a free market economic system, price mechanism performs all the following functions except 1. So you're looking for the exception, which is not a function of the price or price mechanism, okay, which is the exception. The price is a medium to ration scarce resources among alternative users. Yes, that is one of the functions of price, along with information and incentive. Price signals, so that is, right, talking about the signaling function of price. Price signals the most lucrative industries, most profitable industries, lucrative, to be in operation for private sector enterprise. Yes. Then price is able to effectively incentivize. So the incentive function, the signaling function, the rationing functions are discussed here. Then fourthly, indicate change in consumer demand, producer preferences on a real-time basis. Yes, because every time price changes, that indicates either demand or supply is changing. So when demand changes, the preference of the consumers are changing. Supply changes, preference of the producers are changing. So 1 to 4 seem to be technically correct and are functions of price within a market economic system. Therefore, the 5th one should be our answer because it is not a function. Ensure fair distribution of income among households. It is not a function, so I'm going to cross it off, but it is the correct answer for question 1. Question 1, the correct answer is number 5. One of the main criticisms, drawbacks, right? One of the main criticisms or drawbacks of price mechanism is, right, drawbacks of price mechanism is that it is it leads to market failure in the form of inequality in income distribution, inequality in income and wealth distribution. You guys remember the three main reasons for market failure that we have learned in Unit 1 when we did market economic system. Also, we learned in Unit 8 when we did government economics. The three I's we call them. The inefficiency in resource allocation, the first I. The inequality in income wealth distribution, the second I. That is what we are talking about here. Thirdly, macroeconomic instability or instability of the macroeconomic. Okay, right. There's a question asked from one of your virtual classmates. Will say, sir, what do you mean by real-time basis? As I explained, but the real-time means whenever the preference of consumers change, demand starts to change. And as demand changes, as and when demand changes, at that moment, the market price starts to change. So when the market price has increased or decreased, it indicates one of two things that are happening live at that same time in the market. Either the demand has changed, indicating the preferences of consumers have changed, or supply has changed, indicating the preferences of producers have changed. So markets are very live, and markets, the prices keep changing. That is the one of the amazing things about the price mechanism. Price always keeps updating itself based on demand and supply on a real-time basis. I hope that is clear. Question 2. An economic system fundamentally based on the principles of capitalism. Economic system fundamentally based on the principles of capitalism with a very high focus on social equity. When words like capitalism or market economy, but focusing on social equity, social welfare, protecting certain human rights is given priority. When those kinds of things come into the discussion, you have to start realizing very quickly, we are talking about a social market economy. We are talking about a social market economy. So it's not liberal market economy, right? Liberal market economies don't have a high focus on social equity and fairness and things like that. In the earlier question also, we learned that. Socialist market economic system, no. Then there will not be principles of capitalism implemented, no. Socialist market economic system, so no. Command economic system, again, principles of capitalism will not be there. Traditional economic system doesn't go on capitalism or socialism, on traditions, customs, and cultural elements. So that's out. Correct answer should be the fifth one, social market economic system. Social market economic system. We have talked about this, and you guys are pretty good with that knowledge. Right. Then number 3, question number 3. Question 2, correct answer number 5. Which of the following, question number 3, which of the following is a fundamental feature of a free market economy? Fundamental feature of a free market economy. Fundamental meaning foundational, a very basic feature, without which we can't have a free market economy. A free market economic system stands on several key pillars. One of those very important pillars, almost central pillar on which we have a free market economic system is private property rights, private property ownership. Answer number 4. Answer number 4. Okay. Question 4. A mixed economy may be defined as one in which resources are mixed economy. So you see private sector, public sector resource ownership. You see the private sector mainly using the markets and the price mechanism. Public sector going based on the planning mechanism mostly. So all of these mixtures you will see within a mixed economic system. Incentives also are material and coercive, a mix of the two. Likewise, allocated to, so in a mixed economy, right, when you define it, right, resources are, the focus is on resources, are allocated to meet the needs of both consumers and producers, right, both consumers and producers. Then it says used partly to produce consumer goods and partly for capital goods. allocated partly by market forces, partly by the state, allocated purely by the spending decisions of entrepreneurs, allocated purely by the spending decisions of consumers. So last two we can eliminate. They are more market driven, right? Features of pure market economy driven. Then allocated partly by market forces, partly by the state seems very correct. We'll put a pin on that. Used partly to produce consumer goods, partly to produce capital goods. That we can't say it is a feature even in a command economy, even in a market economy. That is the case. So the question to be asked is who decides whether it's to consumer goods or capital goods. So in any economic system, both of those types of goods will be produced. Right? So mixed economy cannot be identified, defined purely based on that point. Then number one, allocated to meet the needs of both consumers and producers. In any economic system, you will see basically the output that is produced is for the benefit of the consumers and the producers. Again, the question is, who makes the decisions or what mechanisms are used in making those resource allocation decisions? Is that clear? And also there is a technical issue when you say allocated to meet the needs of both producers, consumers. Producers will produce, in a market economy, if you take, producers will produce what the consumers require. So the needs is actually the consumers, right? So we can eliminate those answers on that argument. Correct answer should be for question 4, number 3. For question 4, correct answer should be number 3. Okay, any clarifications you guys require, please ask. Then I can do it accordingly. Right. So question 4, correct answer is 3. Number 5, question number 5. In a planned economy, the question of for whom to produce is determined primarily based on, mainly based on planned economy. So to be clear with the economic system always. Planned economy, the question is for whom to produce, right? And how is it mainly decided, primarily determined? The sale of factors of production in factor markets for factor prices. That is basically how income is decided in a market economic system. But in a planned economic system, the main income to the households would be wages by providing labor. It is decided mainly by the government. Okay, so that's eliminated. The distribution of production to members of the community is based on social customs. Then we are talking about a traditional economy. It's based on traditions, traditional economic system. So it cannot be a planned economic system. No. Government distributing goods and services to low-income earners is done in a planned economy, but it gives the idea that the answer gives the idea that that's the only thing the government could do. And also it gives the idea that all parties in a planned economy are all parties in a planned economy are by what is the word, by default or by we are accepting they are all low income earners. That is also not the case. So and another argument I will bring here is, even in a market economy, especially a social market economy, government will take initiatives and steps and allocate certain goods and services or produce certain goods and services to low income earners. So I put a pin on it, but we can eliminate that answer as well. Number 4, government centrally setting wages and prices as part of an economic plan. I think that's a very complete answer, because whether it's a market economy, command economy, or mixed economy, the problem of home to produce is about income distribution. Income is decided mainly in a planned economy or command economy. The main resource owned is labor by the household, so wages is the income, and that can be decided by the government. Also, why we need the income is to have a purchasing power, create a purchasing power. Purchasing power is affected by price levels. Then you will see basically in a command economy or a planned economy, government will decide the price level. So they basically are able to influence the purchasing power of households. Through that, they will distribute the output, because home to produce is a distribution problem. So therefore, that should be the correct answer, number 4. Number 5, the bargaining process between employer and employees. That negotiation is connected with deciding wages in a market economic system. So we have eliminated the answers and end up with the 4th answer as the correct answer. Any clarifications, please ask. Question 6. One reason why there are mixed economies is that a reason for the creation of mixed economies. Why do we have mixed economies? So first one, the free market economy allocates resources efficiently. If a free market economy does indeed allocate resources efficiently, we don't need a mixed economic system. We don't need a mixed economy. The profit motive acts as a disincentive to new businesses. There's a spelling error here. Disincentive, not distinctive. Okay, the word should be disincentive to new business. So that is wrong. It doesn't act as a disincentive, it acts as a incentive. So that's wrong. Competition is always undesirable. No, competition is not always undesirable. Competition helps attain productive and allocative efficiency. We see that in a perfectly competitive market in the long run equilibrium, and we have talked about it in Unit 4. So that's wrong. The free market economy can lead to unequal income distribution. Yep, we have been talking about that problem. No, in the first question we realized one of the reasons for market economic system to fail, or one of the limitations of a market economic system, is inequality in income distribution, unequalness in income distribution. So because of that, we might be pushed towards a mixed economy rather than a purely market-based economy. So that should be the correct answer. Number 5, labor productivity is relatively low in free market economy. No, relatively. That means compared to a command economy, in a free market economy, labor productivity is at a higher level. So therefore, we will go with correct answer number 4, and 5th answer also can be eliminated. Okay. Any questions? Can I see how many of you all out of the participants we have today were able to get answers correct for question 5 and 6, please? Question 5 and 6. If you got the correct answer, okay, I can see some hands being raised. Anyone else who could let me know? Who got the correct answer for question 5 and 6? Okay, question 5. How about question 6? Good. Right. Mixed outcomes, but overall, I think you guys are okay. And Buddha, if you got the answer for question 5, 6, actually question 4, 5, 6, by some chance incorrect, please listen to what, I hope you were listening to what I was saying, and just figure out the small piece of theory knowledge there. That's important. Okay, right. Attempting the questions is the most important thing, which all of you guys have done. Question 7. One of the main functions of the price mechanism in a free market economy. Functions of price. Again, in the first question also, I touched on it. Ensure full employment. Ensure full employment might not be a function of price, because one of the reasons markets or the price mechanism fails is also they are unable to attain full employment. But we'll put a pin on it for now. Ration scarce resources, yes. Rationing function. Keep prices stable, no. Right? Keep prices stable, definitely not. Right? The job of price mechanism is to not to keep price stable, but to basically for price to provide information, incentive, and ration the resources. So big pin on that. Okay. Provide public goods, no. Not to provide public goods. So sorry, rationing scarce resources is a function. This is not a function. This is not a function. Then provide public goods is definitely not a function, right? Private sector doesn't provide public goods. Ensure that income are evenly distributed. No, we know this is a limitation, not a function of price. So the only function of price is then number 2, ration scarce resources. Ration scarce resources. Question 8. A basic difference between a command economy and between a market economy and a command economy would be that a basic difference between a market economy and a command economy. Government plays a role in a market economy. Is it? Or is the government laissez-faire? Government is laissez-faire in a market economy. Price both ration and guide in a market economy, but are not a major. It says manner or something, right? Major. Small typos are there. Right? Major guiding device in a command economy. That is very correct. Price is not a major guiding device in a command economy. What is the resource allocation mechanism in a command economy? The resource allocation mechanism in a command economy is the planning mechanism, right? Not price. So that statement is very correct, right? That shows a considerable difference also. Consumer choice does not exist in a command economy. Consumer choice does not exist, we can't say. There is some level of consumer choice, but it is limited. There is more choice, much range of choice in a market economy, but we can't say there's absolutely no choice in a command economy. There is choice, but limited choice. Okay? So, shortage of output or input seldom occur in a command economy. Not seldom, it's very frequent, right? Seldom meaning very rarely, no, but very frequently it occurs. So that is not a difference then. Market prices exist only in command economies? No, market prices don't exist only in command economies. Market prices exist within price exists within mainly price is the rationing information incentive device in a market economy. In a command economy, now if someone says this statement is wrong because there is no price in a command economy, that is not the case with that. Price is there in a command economy. That is also important to understand. There is a price in a command economy. The difference between price in a command and a market economy is in a command economy, price is decided by the government. Market economy, prices are decided based on demand and supply. But price does exist even in a command economy. Here it's wrong more than anything because we are kind of arguing that price, not only that we are saying price exists in a command economy, the answer, the option, it also gives an idea, the implication that price mainly does everything in a command economy because only in a command economy you find price. That's why easily you can eliminate that as an incorrect answer that shows a difference between a command and a market economy. So correct answer is number 2. Others are technically incorrect and they are not the main difference between these two economic systems. Okay, any questions? Please ask. How many of you guys got question 8 correct? Some of these theoretical questions we have to be really good with, right? Really thorough with. Okay, I'm getting some answers. Okay, few of you, yeah, a good number of you have got this question correct as well. Brilliant. So overall, we seem to have done a proper job in economic systems area. Then number 9, the degree of government involvement in the economy is greatest. Government, the degree, level of government involvement is the greatest. Greatest in what kind of an economic system? The degree of government involvement will be the greatest in a command economic system. Yeah, command. That's where the government plays the central role. Correct answer should be command. That's a very straightforward question. If you maybe help me with a kind of a order or a ranking here, highest to lowest degree of government involvement, highest government involvement, of course, command. Next, where would it be? Next, where would the government involvement be greatest? Now, mix is a very broad term. There are different kinds of mixed economies. So we will just give it number 2. Where is it next? Thirdly, the degree would be highest where? Yes, social market economy, the last answer here. This will be number 3 in terms of the degree of government involvement. Very good. Yeah, right. Good knowledge shown there by you guys. Then market economy would be number 4. We are not going to write anything for traditional economies, Pata. Why are we not going to write anything for traditional economy? Because in a traditional economy, there is no institution called the government. So it's not very correct to talk about it in a traditional economic system. Get it? In a traditional economy, we don't have a government institution or institution called a government. Right. I think you guys are clear on that. Question 10. Consumer sovereignty occurs when? Consumer sovereignty. Where does the consumer become the dominant party? Where simply by increasing, decreasing their demand for a good or service, they can decide which firms continue or exist in the market, and where they can really give a very clear idea to the firms on what goods need to be produced and what would be a preferable price for those goods, things like that. Consumer sovereignty, consumer dominance, right, in the market. Of course, consumer sovereignty is something we talk about, something we see in mainly a market economic system, free market economic system, where there has to be competitive markets, right? Perfectly competitive or competitive markets. Perfect information needs to be there, right? Then we expect there to be a relatively high degree of what sovereignty? Consumer sovereignty. Yes, the market is competitive, right? And perfect information is available, right? Okay. So correct answer then would be, based on the concept I explained, consumer demand determines what to be produced. The first answer itself is spot on, right? Any other answer that you guys thought was a correct answer for consumer sovereignty? If you can let me know, we can discuss it. If not, I think the first answer is very straightforward as a good answer for definition of consumer sovereignty. Anything else you guys thought is a correct answer? No? Right, no. I just wanted to say one more point here. Question 7. One of the main functions of price mechanism in a free market economy is to ensure full employment. You understood why it's not a function of price mechanism, right? I said it's one of the reasons of market failure also, because the price mechanism doesn't want to achieve full employment in that sense, even though private sector firms try to be productively efficient. To do that, they need to achieve full employment of resources. What price does in a market economy is ration, incentivize, and provide information or signaling. Those are the three fundamental functions of price. Just now, if it says, if you say one of the functions of the price mechanism is ensure full employment, on the other hand, we will have to argue there are no, in all market economies, they have attained full employment, or there are no market economies with unemployment. That is not the case. Even if you're a market economy, even if you're based on price mechanism, full employment might not have been achieved, unemployment might be there, but the price mechanism might be doing its job of providing information, incentive, and rationing. Got it? Right. Question 11. Let's see. Seems like a complicated question, right? Yes, there's a clarification. Sir, which economic system has more private sector involvement with less government? Is it social or socialist? No, but there fundamentally you have the answer with you. Social is capitalist countries. Social is market economics. So in market economies, in capitalist countries, who is always the dominant sector among the private public, who is the dominant sector? Maybe you can answer that question, then I can help you figure out the answer by yourself. In a capitalist or market economy, who is the dominant party, private or public sector? Private. So therefore, you have your answer. Social market economy, definitely it's dominated by the private sector. Government tries to control that private sector freedom a bit to a certain extent, right? And tries to play a certain role within a, even though it's a command economy, so even though it's a capitalist economy, even though social market economies are capitalist economies, market economies, government tries to control that private freedom somewhat and play a certain important role to create social equity and social welfare. Socialist means, anyway, they are socialist-based, command-based economies. So in a socialist or command-based economy, you can't expect private sector to be dominant. I think you're very clear now. Correct? Yes? Right. Then good. Which combination, question 11. Which combination of changes in factors affecting market demand and supply, both you have to balance now. Market demand, it's a combination question. Supply will cause, now this is also important, rightward shift. So you're looking for increase in demand and increase in supply. Both have to increase, right? Okay. You can do it row by row, or you can look at the demand side, then go to the supply side also. On the demand side, let's see, look at the first one, increase in price of substitute goods. Yes, demand will increase. Okay. So we can consider that. Increase in the price of complementary good? No, demand will decrease. So that's out. Increase in the price of substitutes? Yes, can happen. Decrease in the price of complementary? Yes, can happen. Increase in the price of substitutes? Yes, can happen. So one is eliminated here. Okay. Then on the market supply side, increase in the price of production substitutes? No, the supply for the given product will decrease. So that's out. Okay, so answer 1 is eliminated because 1 is right, the other is wrong. For demand, it's right, supply, it's wrong. Increase in the price of production complements? Yes, supply will increase, right? But here the demand side is wrong. So that's out. Decrease in the price of substitute goods? Yes, supply for the product under consideration will increase. We have two ticks, two rights here on both sides. So third should be the correct answer. Fourth one, decrease in the price of products in joint supply. Joint supply meaning complementary goods in production. Byproducts. So the supply will decrease. So that's out. Last one, decrease in the price of production complement, same thing, right? So the second answer, then the fourth and the fifth answer for second answer, fourth and the fifth answers keep talking about the same thing, that is production complementary goods, right, or byproducts, right? That's the only word I haven't used. I used all the other words for that. Correct answer is basically answer 3. Correct answer is the third answer. Okay, any questions you guys can ask and clarify. Question 12. If good A is a luxury good, good A is luxury, right? Luxury. So what is a luxury good, Buddha? It's a type of a normal good. Type of a normal good. Good B is a necessity. What is necessity? Another type of a normal good. Then the correct combination of income elasticity would be. So the coefficient is asked, positive, negative. So knowledge, luxury goods, luxury goods and necessities are both normal goods. Normal goods, YED, normal goods, the YED coefficient is positive because income demand relationship is positive. So any answer that doesn't say positive for both can be eliminated. First answer eliminated. Second answer eliminated. Third answer eliminated. So it's either between 4 or 5. Either between 4 or 5. Then luxury means positive YED. So luxury means YED greater than 1. Luxury YED should be greater than 1. Okay, I should have written it here. Right? Luxury meaning YED is greater than 1. So how many answers say YED greater than 1 means what? Come on. All of you know this with them, right? Whether it's PED, YED, XED, PES, greater than 1 means elastic. Greater than 1 means elastic. Here, YED should be. So we are looking for elastic. How many answers out of 4 and 5? Don't look at 1, 2, 3, eliminated already. Between 4 and 5, what answer says elastic? Here, only 1, elastic. That should be the correct answer. If it's necessity or essential good, then what do we see? Necessity or essential good, YED is less than 1. Inelastic. There we go. Correct answer number 5. Correct answer number 5. There's a question. Decrease in price of production substitute. Sir, could you explain this point? Yeah, basically, there are certain other products that can be produced with the product under, with the resources, with the same resources used to produce the product under consideration. Now we'll say product A is the product under consideration. We are focused on changes in quantity supplied or changes in this case, we are talking about supply. Changes in supply of product A. That is a product under consideration. Okay, product A, which is the product under consideration. But using the same resources, we can produce product B. So we can supply product B, we can supply product C, we can supply product D. These are all production substitutes. Got it? Understood? Now, the price of one of these or all of these production substitutes, we can take one, right? Price of B, price of product B, which is a production substitute for A. Price of B decreases. What will happen? When price of B decreases, producers who are producing product B will get discouraged. They will decrease the quantity supplied of B and they will start looking for another product that they can produce with the same resources but can be sold at a higher price. When the price of a production substitute is decreasing, we assume the price of the product under consideration remains the same. if the price of the production substitute decreases and decreases enough, where when you look at the relative price between the product under consideration, in this case product A, and the price of product B, producers of product B realize that product A can be sold at a relatively high price. What would they do? They will take the resources and substitute towards producing product A. People who are producing product B now will get attracted to produce product A. Can it be done? With the resources used to produce another product, can you produce A? Yes, because A and B are production substitutes. So when those producers also start producing product A, supply of product A starts to increase. Supply of product A starts to increase. Market supply increases. Clear or not? Right. Okay, that's how we look at the relationship between production substitutes and price. Okay, right. Then question 13. If the typical linear market demand function for a given product is represented by the equation QD equals 2600 minus 10p, identify the correct combination of price and quantity demanded at the following price elasticity of demand, PED coefficients. So I'm at one point I'm asking for price, then at another point I'm asking for QD. Shall we do this quickly, brother? It's very easy. I'll visualize it for you guys this way. I think then you're okay. We have the vertical and the horizontal axis. You guys know in a standard demand curve, vertical axis is price, horizontal axis is quantity, right? It's a standard demand equation that is given. So if we draw the demand curve, right? Demand curve for QD equals 2600 minus 10p. Are we okay? Right. Now, we know a few things, right? In terms of elasticity behavior, because the question focuses on that. Here we know the PED is or may reach infinity. Here at this point, we know the PED, I'll write it here, hopefully you guys can see, is 0. And we know at the midpoint of the curve, midpoint of the diagram, PED equals 1. PED equals 1. This basic information we know, knowledge we have. Right. What are they asking? They're asking us to estimate price at which PED becomes 1. So they want to know what is the price here. Yes, midpoint price. That's another way to say it. Price at the midpoint. So my approach would be to find the maximum demand price or price at which the demand curve meets the price axis. How do I find that? Yes, so this is maximum demand price, no? Maximum demand price. Price at which QD becomes 0. How do you always find maximum demand price? Maximum demand price is A divided by B. What is that nonsense? In the equation, QD equals 2600 minus 10p means Pudha, right? 2600 minus 10p, right? Very good. Yes. Means QD equals 2600 is basically A. And 10 is B, P. A divided by B means 2600 divided by 10. So how much is that? 260. So bring 260 here. If this is 260, half of 260 is, yes, 260 divided by 2, exact midpoint is the price here, 130. Are we okay? It should be 130. Yes, there's a question. A component divided by the B. Yes, very good. So 130. Are we okay? Any questions on how we got 130? So how many answers say 130? For the first one, 2 answers. Others can be eliminated. They can't be correct. All these are eliminated. Yes, only these 2 remain. Answer 1 or 3. Okay. Next, price at infinity. That we have already found. 260. Here, remember. 260. Maximum demand price. 260. 130 and 260. 130 and 260. Only one. Here, this is also eliminated. It says 10. Right? So, all of these are eliminated now. Only one answer remaining. Right. So, correct. Correct. And that should be the correct answer. Because contra demanded when PED is 0, this should be, we don't need to do any calculations. The equation, the A component, 2600. Yeah, 2600. Correct answer number 1. Any confusions? Are we okay? How many of you got the correct answer for this question? Raise your hand or give me an indication if you got the correct answer. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, a few more. Anyone else who got the correct answer? No? That's it? Right. Are you guys clear now? Good. Are you guys clear now? And are you guys clear why I took so much effort with these fundamental areas of price elasticity of demand? Because this is, of course, a bit of a very comprehensive question. I'm testing 3 things. Normally, they will not test 3 elements of knowledge. But I'm saying if you can answer this question, you can answer a lot of other exam standard questions easily. Get it? Right. Good for you. My simple guidance is, Putha, this how price elasticity of demand, point PED coefficient behaves downwards along a traditional linear demand curve. Be very good with that knowledge. Okay. No, Buddha. Question paper will not be shared on the WhatsApp group, unfortunately. Right? The question paper is given for revision, virtual revision students. We try to make it available on the website. Right? If it is not there, you can try to get it from the coordinator, and the coordinator might help you. We have it, much as possible, we try to have it on the website. If not, if you're a physical revision student, when you come for the revision classes, you should always try to come for the exam attempt and sit and do the paper. Or if you come for the revision class, you can ask from the coordinator, a hard copy might be given. But the paper itself, the PDF, unfortunately, we are not able to make it just openly available in the WhatsApp group. I hope you're clear on what I'm saying. And if there's a problem with not being properly posted on the website, something like that, please let me know, let the coordinator know, then we will work on it. Is that clear? Did I answer your clarification? It's okay? Right? So, only the suggested answers they are in the WhatsApp group. Okay? Right. Question 14. If total revenue of a firm is to increase, if TR, total revenue is to increase, right? Total revenue is to increase as a result of a change in price. So, change in price is kept open. Could be increase, could be decrease. What is the correct combination of price elasticity of demand? Right. If you use a quick bit of knowledge here, now if TR is to delta TR is to increase, right? If the product is elastic, if the product is inelastic, right? If the product is elastic, inelastic, what should happen? Elastic meaning the relationship between price and total revenue. Please listen. Really concentrate on this, right? These are really good questions to solidify or to perfect your knowledge, okay, on a certain area. What is the relationship between change in price and total revenue or total consumer outlay? If a product is elastic, what is the relationship? You guys know this. We've done a thorough job in the revision on this. What is the relationship between change in price and total revenue if the product is elastic? Why am I not getting answers much faster? What is the relation? No, I want most of you guys, all of you guys should be able to answer this question by now. If not, Putha, please, after this session is done, work on it. Go back to that table, go back to that chart, look at everything, refresh your knowledge. But these are areas of knowledge in economics you cannot afford to forget or be confused. Every single person in this answer discussion session, Putha, whether you are regularly a revision student of mine or not, doesn't matter. This is a very good, very solid advice I'm giving you. Relationship between change in price and total revenue or total consumer expenditure, right? And the elasticity of the product, that relationship, that combination, you need to be good for all 5 types of elasticity, all 5 types of elasticity. So I'm waiting for more answers. What is the relationship? If the product is elastic and total revenue, between change in price and total revenue, if the product is elastic, what is the relationship? If you are not answering, I assume it is not because you don't have the knowledge. It's because you are not taking that extra effort. If you are not answering because you don't have this knowledge, if you are, I'm sorry just to say this bluntly, right? So that I can really make you understand this. If you are clueless, on what I am asking, if it doesn't click anywhere, please, after this session, go back to your unit 2 elasticity, price elasticity of demand. If it's my tudes, revision, theory recap tudes, a comprehensive table will be there where everything is summarized. Get the job done. Look at that table, right? If the product is elastic, that's what I'm asking, Buddha. If the product is elastic, what is the relationship between change in price and total revenue? Basically, the relationship is negative. If you did not answer this, we have a problem, which can be rectified. Rectified meaning what? Corrected. You need to do it after the session. Go back to the tude and get the job done. There will be a table with the relationships you need to know. Right here. So negative. Negative meaning if the product is elastic, change in price should be decreased. Inelastic, the relationship is positive. Inelastic, the relationship is positive. That means if the product is inelastic, change in price should be increased. So take that knowledge easily you can find this. I'm sorry for saying this so many times. If I am stressing and fussing about something this much, it is because it is that important. If you are smart, that is what you will put to your head. Why is sir so particular about this? Because it is important. Take that message. Know the relationship depending on the elasticity between change in price and change in total revenue or total consumer expenditure. Sometimes we say outlay. Know the relationship. 5 situations. Elastic, Inelastic and perfect inelastic go together. So we take 5 and make it 4 actually. Then unitary elastic and perfectly inelastic. Perfectly elastic. Perfectly elastic situation can be a bit complicated. So carefully go through the notes and get the job done. If you're not part of my revision classes, in your respective revision classes, your teachers would have definitely touched on this relationship. In my revision study materials, you guys know, I have given a proper summarized chart for you to remember and make life easy. Get it? Okay, get it done. Right. So correct answer here would be, now take the combination and find me the correct answer. First one says elastic price increase. If it's elastic, we are looking for a price decrease. So the first one is out. When one combination is wrong, the answer is wrong. Right? Second one, inelastic price decrease. Inelastic price decrease. No, inelastic, we want the price to increase. So second one is also wrong. Out. Third one says elastic price decrease. Yes, that can happen. Elastic price decrease is okay. Right, now quickly cross to the other side, then you can see if it's a correct answer. Right, inelastic price increase. Inelastic price increase. Yes, that is also correct. So the correct answer should be number 3. We can easily get to the answer. Got it? Answer number 3. Yeah. Question 15. Supply function of product A is given by the equation QS equals 10P. When P is price and QS is quantity supplied. According to this equation, the price elasticity of good A is no calculations necessary. QS equals 10P means QS equals BP. Therefore, A component is 0. A component 0 means it's a supply curve starting from the point of origin, which means it is unitary supply. Job done. Correct answer number 5. Not number 1, it says -1. Not number 4, it's 0.1. Correct answer is number 1. Sorry, number 5. Answer is 1. The value coefficient is 1 and the answer is number 5. But I have marked there. Answer is number 5. Question 15. Are we okay? Unitary elastic. Any questions on the MCQs? So can you repeat the answers from 1 to 10 again? Yeah, that I can do. Yeah, you only want the correct answer number, right? Okay. We'll quickly do that then, right? Maybe you guys joined at different times. Connectivity issues, I get it. Right. So here we go. Question 1, Puta, correct answer is number 5. Question 1, correct. Don't look at the screen and get confused. Just listen to what I'm saying. Question 1, correct answer is number 5. Question 2, correct answer is number 5. Question 3, correct answer is number 4. Question 4, correct answer is number 3. Number 3. Question 5, correct answer is number 4. Question 6, correct answer is number 4. Question 7, correct answer is number 2. Question 8, correct answer is number 2. Question 9, correct answer is number 1. Question 10, correct answer is number 1. Question 11, correct answer number 3. Question 12, correct answer number 5. Question 13, correct answer number 1. Question 14, correct answer number 3. And question 15, correct answer number 5. Number 5. Okay? Right. Now we are complete. Let's look at the suggested answer material, which you guys have, the PDF was shared for this part B questions. We quickly do a run through, that's all. Some guidance I will give because comprehensive answers are given. Question 1, first I want to know the what is meant by an economic system. So I always would recommend you write both of these when you define an economic system, Buddha, right? To say it's a social and institutional mechanism for the purpose of allocating scarce resources and solving basic economic problems, and to say all economic systems function within a certain unique framework consisting of 3 things: legal structure, incentive structure, structure of traditions, customs, and cultural elements. In complete answer, 1 mark there. Then what are the functions of an economic system? You don't have to write it in all of these ways. If you say what to produce in which quantity, how to produce and whom to produce, marks will be given. Right? Understood? But when we say functions, it's good. It's good if you say deciding, solving, words like that. You can say deciding or solving the problem of what to produce in which quantity, solving the problem of how to produce, solving the problem of whom to produce, or deciding what to produce in which quantity, deciding how to produce. Likewise, just the way you write it, but the concepts are okay, right? You can write it in different ways. Or you can talk about it as allocation, function, or problem. You can say production, decision. All of these alternative ways are okay. I am trying to get you guys to write very comprehensive, very complete way to write this, right? So can we say allocation, production, distribution, function? You can. Shouldn't be a problem. But just because it's your exam, the actual exam, if you can within brackets write the others, then you're safe. No? Are we clear? Because it doesn't take much time to do that, isn't it? Right. But only one of the terms is enough, right? Okay. So 3 problems, you can present it that way. And see, I have given a kind of an introduction also. No? Just think about this. Learn something from the suggested answers that way also. How is the flow? How to maintain a flow? How to introduce some points, Learn things like that. Really, really use the suggested answers for your advantage. Outline how we classify economic system based on ownership and rights very clearly. Now here, if you mix up the words, you will not get marks. Okay. Ownership of resources and rights, if you use words like market and command. On the other hand, when it comes to price mechanism of resource allocation, if you use words like capitalist, socialist, if you mix these words up, you're not going to get the marks. What are these words? Capitalist, socialist, traditional here, market here, command here. Don't mix them up. Then you lose marks. And notice I haven't talked about a mixed economy, because mixed economy can exist in both ways of classification. Institutional, both institutional features are there. So I've avoided mixed. That's another small thing to observe. Okay. Right. Using correct terms is very important here. Next, show the difference between market economy, command economy based on 4 salient characteristics. I've given more than 4. If you have any 4 of these, and if you have chosen them properly and written, or if you've written the proper comparison with the correct way to write it, you will get the marks. Okay. Question 2, on law of demand, law of supply. The laws focus that question. So I'm expecting, I know I've given a bit of detailed definitions, but at this level, now I want you guys to be able to actually write complete answers in this way. Of course, my marks allocation is very, very strict, very stingy, right? But in the exam, you might get sometimes more marks than what I've allocated, but I want you to write these comprehensive answers. Is that clear? Right. So law of demand, I've given 2 methods you can use. Remember, there's an alternative method, and this is what we normally use or recommend, right, to define law of demand. The assumptions, all that needs to be there, given properly, right? Then I have asked in the question, what is the main reason for law of demand? So this is a very nice learning part of the suggested answer for you guys. How do we properly say the reason for law of demand? By bringing the concept of price effect, defining price effect, and then saying price effect combines substitution effect and income effect. It's a bit of a paragraph, but with a more than counting the number of words and going, my God, I have to write all these words. Take the learning, take the very advanced level A grade way that we are presenting an answer. Learn that. Because that is what you need to always have with you whenever you practice writing answers. That quality you have to develop. Okay? Right. Then I'm going on to explain in part B, I'm asking why is the demand curve downward sloping? So again, I've given a nice introduction, right? I've given it in italics. The letters are a bit different, or the italics is, I'm saying, even if it's not there, you will get the marks, but try to include this small introduction and then go into defining substitution effect proper. This is what we call standard technical definition, solid definitions. No, this, just a bunch of words and some random order and no. Avata geyata nirvachana liyanne epa. Singalema kiwwa. Right? Don't write definitions ad hoc. Just, bunch of words, whatever the order that comes to mind, don't do that, Putta. That's not smart. That is not A-levels. Right? Not Econ-Hub students, not you guys. Proper definitions. Right? You know this. You can do this. And also this part, because I've said it's a normal good, talk about how substitution effect works for a normal good. Yeah? Learn. That's all. Right. Then again, really proper standard technical definition for substitution effect. You can do it. Income effect. Right? Income effect. And talk about how income effect behaves for a normal good. For a normal good, income effect is positive. It supports law of demand, all that. Use your words. Right? Then law of supply. Again, definition. There's an alternative method also. But this is what we recommend. Try to use that. Alternative method is also okay, no problem. 1 mark there. Then reason for law of demand. Now, I know you guys, I have taught you guys, we have learned. You can give the reasons for law of supply. Give the reasons for law of supply based on profitability aspect, and then opportunity cost, increasing opportunity cost. But now we can see that your examiners want that technical way to explain, want you to explain law of supply in that technical way. So that is what I have given as a suggested answer. If you have written a slightly different answer when you attempted the paper, I want you to work on this and try to ensure that you are able to explain it this way. Okay, reasons for law of supply. Then the third question focuses completely on elasticity, at that elasticity of demand. So I'm asking a question, the difference between price elasticity of demand and law of demand. Very common question I ask. I have asked it many times. This is the second time you're answering this question. But it's worth. That shows knowledge and your ability to answer a question with the verb distinguish. You can write both increasing opportunity cost and the profit acting as an incentive argument for explaining law of supply. One of your classmates have asked a question. You can write both, Buddha, but your answer should be heavy on, or should be more focused on, centered around the technical point, law of increasing marginal opportunity cost. Am I clear? Right. The technical aspect has to be there. Okay. So learn how to write this distinguish questions, right? Use your definitions. That's all. Now you might have answered this question in a different format. But even in that format, if this is the outcome you have, we are okay. Now, remember, this is the area I kept saying about 6-7 times to make sure you are really good. The relationship between change in price, change in total revenue or total consumer outlay, and depending on the elasticity, that relationship. Okay. Then for the final part of the third question, final 2 parts, I'm asking determinants of price elasticity of demand only to save them. The 4 core. Remember? The 4 main. So the FOURCRCORE, core. 4 core determinants. Substitutes. I'm just saying the main thing. Substitutes, time, percentage of income spent, and nature of the product. 4. You can write more, but these 4 I need. And written properly, not just again that way, just the 4 words, written properly. Then final part of question number 3, part D, outline based on the outcome or coefficient of YED, XED, what we can learn. Again, you might have used a different format, right? Some of you might have used a flowchart even. That's okay, but this is kind of recommended. Give the basic idea, use the words properly. Now, all of us know, because I stressed on it today in this discussion also, the greater than 1, anything, PED, YED, XED, PES, greater than 1 elastic, less than 1 inelastic coefficient. Okay? Positive, negative are different things. More than 1, less than 1. Elastic, inelastic. Right. So see if you have given an answer that contains the same information and it's clear, then you will get the full marks. So that brings us to the end of the third special paper practice session or series answer discussion. So next week, I will see you guys again with the 4th paper, and the 4th paper focuses on a special unit and only on that unit. What is that unit? Paper 4. I'm sure you guys are preparing for it now. And you will gradually do that in the past program also. Very good. What is the unit? Yes, unit 8. There we go. Right. So with that, I will stop the recording of this session. Okay.